Hola, estudiantes. It's Mrs. Santiago here. And today we are going to take the notes called Culture in Pictures for Chile. I'm in your OneNote chapter 5, and the page is Chile Culture in Pictures. I'm going to eliminate the table of contents and make the notes page large. So, Chile, very interesting country known as the land of extremes. While we're exploring the country, I hope you can find some evidence to support a good reason for that nickname. So, let's start right out in the upper corner. So, in northern Chile, when you arrive, you'll be greeted by the stone hand. It is a formation in the driest, now not hottest desert, but the driest desert in the world. So in northern Chile, you will see the Atacama Desert. Okay, el Desierto Atacama. You can see it's very dry area. And that's right up here. You can see San Pedro de Atacama right here, northern part. Right below that, we'll hit Sebastián Piñera. He is the presidente. He was just elected in 2018. Presidente. Muy bien. Chile, you can see, we're going to talk about it in a little bit. Very long and skinny. Puntas Arenas down here, coldest part of the South American continent. Now let's talk a little bit about this. Easter Island, you probably have seen it on the Night at the Museum movies. So what you're seeing on those movies is the moai. There are over 600 stone statues located on Chile's Easter Island, which is off to the western coast. It is not as big as it appears in this diagram. That's why it says not to scale. So Chile is long and skinny. 4,270 kilometers long and 64 kilometers at its narrowest area. Okay, that's pretty skinny. All right, let's talk about my namesake. What do I mean? The capital city of Santiago was established in 1541 by the Spanish conquistador Pedro de Valdivia. Okay, so Santiago, Chile. You knew I was famous. There's the reason. Then, way down in the south, it's super cold. We had the dry at the top, cold at the bottom. The Parque Nacional Laguna San Rafael is known for its icy blue glaciers. I had to sneak in a little Chile for Chile. And then you can see llamas, alpacas, vicuña, and guanacos. These all four varieties of this llama family live in the different altitudes and climates of Chile. That's page 1. Page 2 is Chilean symbols. Okay, so symbolic of Chile are the people. So the indigenous natives that lived in extreme climates in Chile were the Mapuches. The Mapuches are known for their bravery. They escaped the conquistadors by moving into the extreme southern part of the country, and then the conquistadors did not follow. Too cold. They have influenced music, food, clothing, and the strong character of the people. Chile's number one sport, right? El fútbol, right? El fútbol. And there you can see the Federation of Football of Chile, football, soccer. Pablo Neruda and Gabriela Mistral, okay, they weren't married. They just happened to both have the same job. And they were both poets, literature. They won the Nobel, each of them at different times, the Nobel Peace Prize for Literature for their poetry. So they are Nobel Peace Prize winners from Chile. Chile also has other famous writers, including Isabel Allende. She wrote Love in the Time of Cholera. Chilean symbols. My favorite, the food. Okay, the food in Chile is a mix of local history and European influences. Look at that first picture, humitas. So these are a lot like we would say Mexican tamales, or we looked at Puerto Rican pasteles. They all have some kind of a like masa or dough wrapped in a leaf of some sort that is then boiled. Then right next to it, this is actually the famous meat pot pie. It's topped with a corn mash. Underneath, it's almost like chopped meat or ground meat. This is called pastel de choclo. So that's an important one to know. Pastel de choclos. And let's scroll down. Empanadas, we know what they are. There's a half moon empanada frita. These are empanadas al horno first, the square ones. These are baked in these are in the oven, and these are fried. This is cazuela de ave. So this is like their version, ave meaning bird. So this is almost like their chicken soup. And then pan amasada y pebre. So this is almost like a fresh salsa and rolls. La comida. Yum. The national dance of Chile is called La Cueca. La Cueca is danced by the man and the woman together. They are dancing in their traditional clothing, and they always use a handkerchief. So the handkerchief is an important part of the dance, and it helps to represent the courtship of a rooster and a hen. La Cueca. Now let's go on to our third and final page, which I'm going to call old and new. Chile is a big mix of old and new. So here you can see art from the Mapuches, the influence of the art from the indigenous people. But then all the way to the right, so all the way over to the right, you're going to see the famous stairway street art that's in the city that it Valparaiso, Chile. And Valparaiso is like an artist's city. So they have different paintings up and down the stairways all throughout Valparaiso. Let's talk about another old and new. Here you can see, so this is the capital city of Santiago, and you can see colonial churches that were built in the 1500s. So this church, right, 1500s. And modern technology buildings probably built in the 1990s, right next to each other. So you can see that that is a good example of the mix of old and new. This is actually, what do you think that is? It's a mine. So this is actually a mine because Chile is the world's largest producer of copper. So it's a copper mine. Chile also is known for its exports. Because Chile is long and skinny, they have a lot of coastline with beautiful beaches. Okay, this one looks like Viña del Mar. Del Mar. Okay, this is one of the famous beach cities, but they are a large exporter of seafood. If you have a long, skinny coastline, you should be exporting seafood. Okay, speaking of their coastline, it really is coastline, mountains, and a little strip in between where the cities are. So the capital city of Santiago, so this is Santiago again. What do you notice in the background? What are these things, right? What is this? Crazy, okay? It is watched over by the mountains. Do you know what mountains they are? These are the Andes Mountains. Okay, the Andes Mountains. So hopefully now as we've been looking and you see the land of extremes, let's look at this official climate chart. Now this is in Spanish, but we've got desértico, mediterráneo, este parico, templado lluvioso, hielo de altura, marítimo lluvioso, este parquito frío y tundra. Okay, so you can see they have official names that go all the way from desert to polar. So in the north, we have a very dry climate, and to the south, it's very cold. But you also have the extreme height and cold of the mountains. Okay, so that is the end of our culture and picture notes. These notes combined with the videos make up the bulk of our information on Chile. Gracias.